Today's video is called Human Rights Omission. It's time to rename the Human Rights Commission of Ontario the Human Rights Omission of Ontario. Here's a quote from the Toronto Sun regarding a Nigerian landlord residing in Brampton. Quote, a landlord who rented out the main floor of his Brampton home to an Arab Muslim couple must pay them $12,000 for failing to accommodate their religious practices when showing their apartment to prospective tenants, unquote. Huh? John Alabi, who came to Canada 22 years ago, is apparently guilty of failing to remove his shoes when showing the bedroom where the couple prayed and of not giving them enough notice before each showing. He was punished and fined $12,000, $6,000 each to Walid Madkour and his wife, Hiba Ismail. Why? Well, the commission felt that their requests could easily have been met. And to add insult to injury now, Mr. Alabi is required to take an e-learning course on human rights and rental housing. Is that so? Here's my question to this group of Kangaroo Court Orwellian arm's-length agency of the government. What about Mr. Alabi's rights? According to Mr. Alabi, he bent over backwards to accommodate the Egyptian-born couple, and he was met with excuses and evasiveness, making it difficult for him to find other tenants. He feels victimized, and he wonders why his crime of trying to put food on the table for his family has resulted in a fine, which he's unable to pay, in addition to the legal fees he had to shell out, while Mr. Madkour and Miss Ismail paid exactly nothing for their legal representation. That's right, folks. Zero. Bubkas. Nada. For the tenants, and more than $12,000 for Mr. Alabi. Whose rights have been trampled here, I ask? Mr. Alabi, in his own words, is a shattered, broken man. Broken and disillusioned. The final line in Michel Mandel's article will stay with me for a long time to come. It is so penetratingly sad and unjust. He says, for the first time in my 20-something years in Canada, I'm sorry that I came to this country. Weep for Mr. Alabi, and weep for other people like him, fighting for their very livelihoods in a no-win situation. This time they came for Mr. Alabi. Next time it may well be you, your friends, or maybe someone else in your community who's just trying to get by. The insanity has to stop. The human rights omission in this case is Mr. Alabi's sad tale to tell. My heart breaks for him. It is at times like this that I am ashamed to be Canadian.